What's up, brother?
See you again, Tony.
Yes, sir.
All right. So uh I want you to let the camera know like
Hey,
what you
guys.
do for a living,
Yeah,
where you work.
yeah.
So
So I work over here in Columbus, Georgia at Max Fitness, and I'm one of the personal trainers over there. I've been doing it for about 6.5 months. It's been really fun.
okay. So you can relax. We'll just have kind of like a little chill conversation. I just have a couple of questions I want to ask you, kind of
Okay.
see what the field is like and everything.
Absolutely.
So first question that comes to my mind is why'd you get into the field of personal training?
Yeah, that's a good question. So I just been working out consistently for 3 years. I love doing it, and my buddies, we would always work out together, and they would always ask me questions on how to do this and why to do this, and I thought it'd be a good idea to just pursue a field in it because I like it. It's fun, and I thought I'd get paid while I was doing it.
Yeah. And so a good segue off of that is so what kind of clients do you normally work with? Is it normal everyday people or do you work
Yeah.
with athletes?
So I'm kind of picky. I know that sounds very judgmental, but I like to train people who kind of have the same personality as me, and they kind of already have a little bit of motivation. Um, I don't mind training men or women, but usually my clientele is men, young men that are trying to either get strong, fit, lose a little bit of fat. That's kind of where I'm at because just I relate to them more. It's easier to talk to them. It's hard. It's honestly, your clientele. It's hard to communicate and relate to older women who they're not trying to build strength like me. They're trying to lose some fat, lose some tone, and I can
Mm.
absolutely build them a great body routine. But it's just harder to have a normal conversation with them and relate.
Almost like you'd be doing them an injustice because you don't really see it from their shoes as much.
Exactly. I think they just have a better time talking with another female, and that's not like saying, I'm this, they're that, I couldn't help them. I just think they would honestly have a better time with a lady just because of, they can relate
Yeah.
more on conversations.
Yeah, that makes actually a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Um you don't have to say any names, but could you give me an example of like one of your clients and kind of a program that you put together for them?
Yeah, I can actually give one name, but they won't know who he is. His name is Joseph. He's been one of my friends for a long, long time, and we started working together. And he's lost over 20 pounds, and
Oh wow.
yeah, he's really, really toned up. And one thing that I really noticed from him is not like the body, but just the passion for the gym, and that's what I love to see. I have this quote that I love saying, and it's the man who loves walking will get to a destination faster than the man who enjoys the destination. Meaning that he loves the process. He loves working out. He comes in there with a great mindset. He just wants to attack the day. He wants to attack the lift, the workout, and he has fun while he does it. And that's one of my best clients right now. I love him to death.
Very cool, very cool. So, um, kind of what you started off saying. You said he lost 20 pounds. So I'm
Yeah,
I'm assuming kind of his goal is weight loss, right?
weight loss, some muscle, just really get rid of that stomach fat.
So, something that I'm kind of curious about because you
Yeah.
see it all the time, people with these weight loss goals. How much of the gym do you see people striving for strength goals, and how much do you see people striving for body image goals?
Definitely probably like if I can pull a percentage just straight off the dome, probably like 80% body and then 20% strength.
Oh wow.
I would even say 90% body, especially at Max Fitness. Max Fitness is kind of a gym catered towards the older people. We have a lot of fitness classes, so a lot of people come in that gym looking to tone up their body 90% of the time. Most people that are trying to get strength goals are people that are young men like us that are just trying to get a couple bench press. But most of the time, my buddy Joey, he's also like we bench press today together, and he wants to get stronger in that. But at the same time, his main goal is to really just build those pecs and lose that stomach fat.
Really
I,
cool.
I would say 95%. It's really definitely more
Yeah,
body image.
I definitely see that a lot as well. I
Yeah,
go to a couple different gyms and it's the same story everywhere. People want to level up that physique, I guess, more.
yeah,
So not to take so much of a left turn, but
yeah,
kind of a different topic that I like to segue into. So when you develop these programs for people,
yeah.
what is there a formula you use or is it completely unique to everybody? Like say for example, a lot of strength programs you see, they'll have a compound movement. They'll
Yeah.
throw in cardio somewhere.
Hmm.
What does a split look like? How do you put these together? Just
Yeah. It definitely depends on the person because some people are more consistent than others. A person that's way less consistent in the gym, I would just build them something like an upper lower body split, probably 3 times a week, 30 to 40 minutes a day, and a couple cardio session. Those are usually the older people that are trying to, build better health, have more energy. So those people, their splits are going to look more like upper lower body and a couple cardio sessions. Usually the cardio is at the beginning or the end for them. Upper body, we would start with something like assisted pull-ups, assisted push-ups, maybe some dumbbell overhead press, a little bit of curls, a lot of machines, and a lot of cardio. That's what they want to focus on, and I build the split for them. I don't get them to do what I want. Young men, athletes, obviously they want to be more athletic, especially the athletes. They want the compounds, the jumping, the sprints. But my friend Joey, he's not looking to be an athlete. He's looking for body definition. So Joey, it's more like a push pull leg split. It's more like we have upper body, like chest, triceps, shoulders, and that can be bench press, overhead press, and then some tricep movements. And then we would have back, some rows, some biceps, and legs. Of course, can't skip legs. But for athletes, though, we're definitely going to be doing a little bit of different stuff. We're going to actually go onto the sled, do some sprints. We're going to have them do ladder drills, get that quick feet. We're going to implement more type of like different styles of deadlifts, trap bar deadlifts, maybe some jumping in their squats and explosive movement. And we want that fast twitch muscle fiber for them. I can go into more development into
Mhm.
that.
definitely, and I'm sure you could talk about it all day
Yeah.
because it's definitely something that you sound very passionate about. But
Yeah.
with a little limited amount of time,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
maybe we'll just go into something else.
Skip
So,
that.
yeah.
I'm still researching fast twitch. I'm trying to get better on knowing that more.
Absolutely. Yeah. And so something that I'm just personally very curious about because I've been looking into sports psychology a lot,
Yeah.
and a big part of it is psychology revolving around injuries.
Yeah.
So, have any of your clients experienced some form of like injury in the past that set them back?
Yeah, shoulder injuries are like one of the biggest things a lot of people happen. Knee injuries, older people have bad knees, bad backs, and it's really hard to motivate them when they feel just so just defeated by their own body, like they can't overcome it. And you ask them questions like, "Are you doing physical therapy?" No. Okay, maybe we should do a little bit. I have a little bit of advice for physical therapy that I can give. Okay, you are doing physical therapy. What are you doing so we don't over jump onto the same stuff you're already doing? you know of course, if they have a little bit of a bad back, we can do some light back extensions, and same thing
Kind
with
of
the
ease
knee.
into it.
Very easy into it. Show them the small wins. Oh, my knee feels better after 2 weeks, but you definitely have to keep going. That psychology part is very, very important. That's kind of an interesting question, actually, because a lot of people just feel demotivated, especially with injuries, because they just feel like they can't,
It's
they can't
such a
do
mental
anything.
hurdle that
It's
they are trying to get
absolutely,
over.
absolutely a mental hurdle.
And I mean, I've experienced it before, and it's like you're
Yeah,
not confident enough to move a certain way like you used to, and
yeah,
you develop these weird
defeats
habits.
you.
Absolutely. So that's something very interesting because it's something that I don't think people in that are looking to get into personal training really consider a lot
Yeah,
is these big setbacks and where
yeah,
you go from there because you can't just give up on your clients, right? They have a lot of trust and admiration for you, so you need to be that role model for them, I guess.
hmm,
So that's kind of a pressure of it that I'm sure a lot of people at home aren't really super aware of. So just to kind of because that's really interesting, like to see the ins and outs and kind of what you deal with on a daily,
yeah,
but some more vague and kind of like interesting fun questions.
hmm.
So what do you have to tell people that are looking to get into personal fitness? What are some pros and cons, and what are some things that they might have to be ready for that they're probably not expecting?
So the cons, when you get into it, you have no clients. So the gym, especially if you're working a gym like me, they give it to you. So your client that wants to train at 4:30 a.m., you want to make that money, you're gonna have to wake up at 4:30 a.m.
Mm,
And you don't have a client all the way till 7 p.m., you're gonna have that layover all the way till 7 p.m. So a lot of me and my partners, we don't train. We train at 4 a.m. and then we want to have a client till 12, and then we want to have a client till 7 p.m. One of the best trainers there, they have a fixed schedule because they have a lot of people. Their network is very important. One of the most important parts that people get into personal training don't realize is network. So the lady who's been a personal trainer there, she's been there for a long time, and she focuses on a lot of women. So she has this niche market, and a lot of women, older women, like to buy personal training, so they love her. And she has a very loud energy. A lot of people love her energy. So when they see her, they're like, okay, I want to train with her. So network is something that you have to be strong with. Social media, now that we're getting into it, is very, very important. You can't neglect it, especially with personal training out there. You got to be loud. You got to be the loudest one in the room. And the
Hmm.
one that does the best is loudest in the room.
So more than the exercise science aspect of it
Yeah.
is a lot of almost kind of like sales
Sales.
involved.
Yeah, yeah. You have to be a very, very excellent salesman.
Hmm.
That's something people don't talk about. Or just very, very good at what you do,
Hmm.
which is sales in its own.
Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So, as far as your career right now is concerned,
Yeah.
would you recommend it for a lot of the people that say that they want it, or would you recommend alternative fields?
It's a very good question because it doesn't pay as well as a lot of people think, especially if you're doing a small town gym or a small time
Very
gym,
client based,
very
right?
client based, they're giving it to you. Even if you have the most clients in the gym, you're still not breaking 10 grand a month. And, if you really want to if your goals go beyond that, then, I would recommend going for more certifications, more networking, a higher end gym. You want to go for people that want to pay more. If because if you just get your certification in personal training, you're going to be working at a small time gym, not making a lot of money. And that's just something that I want people to know when you're going
Mm.
into it. Not a lot of people understand that, like, oh, this is personal training, oh wow, I'm stuck at Max Fitness. It happens to a lot of
So
people.
that means you have to really love what you do.
You have to love what you do, and you have to keep, have a higher goal than just small time personal training. My goal is, and I know your goal is, physical therapy.
Hmm.
We want to keep going and get our higher certifications and higher degrees, bachelor's, doctorates, masters, and all that. The more certifications and the more stuff you get is going to in turn help you build more revenue for your family and life.
So, that's a lot
I
of
can't even
really
remember
good
the question.
information.
I can't even
No, I
remember.
completely understand. And for people watching, it's currently 30 something degrees outside. And
Yeah.
thankfully Tony was willing to power through with me here. So just to kind of wrap it up, something that I really wanted to know about because I'd be interested in the future doing some
Yeah.
level of personal training.
Hmm.
Um, what do you think about like, whilst you're doing a different career option, whilst you're in school chasing a further certification, is it possible to maybe ramp down a little bit of the workload involved and do it on the side, maybe to make a
Yeah.
few extra bucks here and there? How is that? Is it something, I guess I'm trying to ask, is it something that you're able to commit to half-heartedly at all?
You do create your own schedule. Yes, it's just hard because of a lot of their people in the beginning. When you're in the beginning, you don't have many clients, so you take what's given to you.
So once you have something going, maybe it's possible, but
Yeah, but it being in the beginning is going to be pretty difficult. So, maybe in the beginning try and like shadow and do a lot of social media, but still at that point, you got to take what's given to you. And you're probably going to work like a dog, going at 4 a.m. and then go to your class at 8 a.m. and then come right back, and same thing. It's going to be day in, day out, hard. But yes, and you could have that if you treat those clients very, very well. You could have that network right there. Meet that guy, he likes you, and you could go to a different gym and he could come with you, and it's worth it. You just gotta work like a dog to do it.
absolutely. So
It's not easy.
I guess you've been great and I really appreciate you
Absolutely,
giving me the
brother.
opportunity to talk about it with you.
Yeah.
I guess a final thing to wrap it up, for anybody at home that is starting out in this field, they're
Yeah.
trying to get their foot in the door, they're trying to get these new clients and they're feeling kind of defeated or beat down at all. What
Yeah.
is one message? It could be short or long, talk to the camera. What
Yeah.
is one thing you would tell them that could, uplift them or motivate them on that?
I would say first ask why you're trying to do it, what is your goal, and figure that out, write it down, figure out your goal in the next year, 6 months, 3 years, really internalize it. Is it for you? Is it for anybody else? If it's for you, really focus on it. Research it, market it. If you are in it for the money, then see how much people get paid in it and what do you need to do to get the most money out of it. If you just want to do it just to personally train, see how many people you can reach out to in the gym that's the most busy. If you're just doing it for the side gig, research that. So really, really ask yourself the question why you're doing it. Me personally, I'm trying to do it for two things. I want this to make this a full-time career in physical therapy. I talked to myself about that, asked my that question. So I looked up what I need to do to get to that step. I'm joining the military to pay for college, and then I'm going to go to get my bachelor's, and then I'm going to be, I already have my certification in personal training, and I'm going to be going on to do further steps. So really ask yourself that question, see how far you need to go in schooling and certifications. Try and shadow a lot of places, businesses, make a lot of friends. Networking is super important. When you go to a gym, try and talk to a gym and say, hey, can I shadow you guys? They'll probably say yes. They're not going to say no 90% of the time. And if they do say no, that's another step to say yes.
Absolutely. Well, wise words, and
Hell yeah.
I really appreciate it, brother.
Yeah, appreciate it, man.
All
That was
right.
fun, actually.